it's your girl Morgan Danielle, and I am back again for my Quirky Girl Back-to-School series, and today we will be talking all about my planner. In one of my first videos, I mentioned that scheduling and getting a planner was an absolute essential for college, and I still believe that this to be true. If you do not have a planner or some way to keep up with your assignments and what's going on, you're gonna fall behind. I don't know, I'm just an organized girl. I need to have some kind of organization, and this was my life getting through the first semester because it had everything organized, and I think the fact that I didn't use it often second semester is part of the reason why I didn't do as well, you know, as far as keeping up with everything. So today I'll be showing you how to use your planner, so stay tuned. My planner is by Bloom. It's, you know, they are a really good agenda company. This is not a sponsored video. They don't pay me for this. I went out and bought this with my own money. This was my own coins that went into this. So yeah, just know I'm not one of those girls. But I do like their planners just because it's very girly and I'm very girly. So anything that's girly, I'm gonna naturally gravitate to. I've seen the green, I've seen the pink, and it just all clicked. And I got this at my bookstore at my school. And basically, I think that this is a really good planner. But yeah, so it pretty much operates like any other planner. You have your notes section, which I don't want to show you all my notes, but it has its own little notes section, and then it also goes on to begin. It has a notes section. It also has a to-do list. It has, I don't know what else it has before you get to the actual. It has like the little address and numbers. You know, I don't want to get too much into the tedious stuff that you don't really care about. So let's get right into actually using your freaking planner. Usually the months have an outlook like this, which I personally like best. I think that if you get an agenda, it needs to have both this, and it also has to have the part where it actually has individual weeks and days, only because if you have both, it's a lot more easier to keep stuff tracked down. Whereas if you just use, you know, one or the other, which, I mean, you can use one or the other, because for like the month of December, I simply just used this part because I only had a couple more assignments until we got out for school, so I didn't really need a bunch of weekly space. But prior to that, I needed the whole box. Like, I did not have, so as you can see, I needed this whole space because it kept me on track. Now, some girls are a little bit more organized than I am, and that's hard to say because I'm a very organized girl, but they color code, and I personally don't care to color code. I wanted to get really deep into the planner world, but my mom was like, bitch, this is my money and I'm not spending it for you to be extra because whatever. So I basically just took pen and I would write down whatever dates I had, whatever class it was actually. So on Monday, November 2015, I had registration, which I wrote down, and since that was very important, I underlined everything I could to get it to be, noticeably important. And I also wrote down the time of which I can register. Then I also put my music appreciation class, because that was the only assignment I had at the time, because that was my only class on Mondays. So I wrote down that I needed to do my test and I needed to have my listening assignment done. Then I also wrote down what I had. So for Tuesday, the 3rd of that week, I wrote down what I needed for bio and my math class. So basically, just write down what you need. It's pretty straightforward. I don't think you need to be told, write down what assignments are due. But I do say organize it by class, because when I first started planning, and this was way back even in middle school, when I first started using my planner, I would get confused. I would get confused as to what is for what class, so I would be confused as to what it's about. So the only reason why I say you need to organize it by what class it is because let's say you have an essay for English and bio due. You may forget which one is for which. You see what I'm saying? You might just have a title on it. So that just saves you a lot of work. I basically separated essays, grammar. Let me go so I can show you guys the beginning of this, because I actually color coordinated this very well. Surprisingly, Mo did color coordinate some stuff. So I will just show you guys a couple examples. So I had my quizzes in yellow highlighter because that way I would recognize that I had a quiz due, and just seeing the yellow maybe 2 or 3 weeks in advance would make me think study Mo, a quiz is coming up. Then I would put my tests in orange. That way when I seen orange, I knew that means there was a test, which means I needed to really study. And then if I had an essay, I did that in pink because essays came up quicker than you wanted to believe they did. And I also wrote down things such as school events. Like there was like a passionately pink school event that I wrote down. And the good thing about my planner is that they have this little monthly goals notes section where you can kind of write down like what your goals for the month is, and as well they have quotes at the top. Like if you look up at the top, they have a quote for every single month, which I think is just such a beautiful touch. Like it just makes it adds that little bit of feminine girliness that I like in my planners. Right around March, I started to actually cross out the days. That's just how done with college I was. I was so ready to get out and do all that, so I was just crossing stuff out like it was nothing. But I actually used these little orange tabs, and I used pink ones too, just to keep a spot as to where I was, or to keep a spot at certain dates. Like when I was taking a developmental math class and there was like 3 parts, and I was already dreading it. I didn't like that I had to take all 3 parts. So because I had to take all 3 parts, I basically marked in my agenda all 3 places where they would end. That way I would, as I removed each like little sticky note, I felt good because I'm like, okay, that's 1 down, that's 2 down, last 1 down, you know. So you just gotta personalize it for yourself. But I do say a planner is essential because you will forget assignments. It's really hard to keep up with that many assignments to keep it real. Like there's no better way to put it. Like it's just gonna be hard because you're pretty much gonna, from day one when you walk in that class, it's not like high school where you walk in the first day and you just get introductory like stuff, like a syllabus. Like no, day one you get in there and they're like, you need to sign up for this because you got work due tomorrow at 12 o'clock midnight, and you like, here we go. So you need to have a planner because all your assignments are gonna come at you at once, and professors do not care about your situation, period. They don't care about your situation. They don't care if you got 5 tests in another class to do. Because there was a period in time of which I had 3 tests in 1 week by one professor himself, and like 1 in another class, and he didn't care. He was just like, well, good luck. I guess study for all of them. And I'm just like, planner, slay college, guys. And as I said, organize it to your own liking. It doesn't have to be anything special. As you can see, sometimes some of my weeks were just really uneventful. Just make sure you do what's best for you. But as I said, stay organized because it's so easy to fall behind in college. And I want to see my subscribers blossom and slay and, you know, make life real fun. So yeah, and I hope my booby ain't been like kind of, you know, flashing you this whole time. But that is all for now, guys. I will see you in my next Quirky Girl video. Make sure you check out the rest of my videos so you can get ready for college. And until next time, Mo is out. Bye, guys.